It's time for the conclusion of the Age of Restraint. Now we've got just UFOs with giant lasers attacking. So we'll see what comes out of this one. Consequences. Disobedience solves chaos. Yes, time for the consequences. Oh, it's a giant robot attacking the Sentinel UFO. I guess it's not really a UFO because UFO stands for unidentified, but we know what this is. Okay, anyway, let's start with this. Okay, so this is the room with the rules. We've been here before, right? So yeah, handling unsanctioned technology is forbidden. Seeking wealth is forbidden. No taking law into your own hands. And allegiance to outside cause is forbidden. Mega Miner user manual. Okay, that might be that robot outside. Mega Miner. Oh my, that is a lot of words, and that gives us nodes. Are we going to be programming the robot? The Mega Miner robot can be programmed using either visual or traditional scripting. Figures 1 below and 2 right show how the default mining functions look in each case. To trigger this function, use the following line of code, remembering to replace both bracket parameters with the ones you require. Run, mine, Dreadworm, Ruby. Alternatively, you can write your own functions using the inbuilt commands, which are detailed on the next page. Okay, yeah, we're doing robot programming. Okay, so the robot tries to find something, it doesn't find anything, it returns to the start. If it finds an obstacle, destroy, returns to the start. If something is found, it has to identify it. That's interesting because, you know, if you find an obstacle, it goes destroy and then do the find again. But it's like, how do you know it's an obstacle? You haven't identified it yet. I see flaws in your logic. If what it identifies is not target 1, discard, return to the start. If what it identified is target 1, kill, destroy, return to the start. If what it found is gem, then identify the gem. If it's not target 2, discard. If it's target 2, clean and store. Okay, so it's supposed to find gems that are target 2, but it first will destroy and kill and do all those things. So, you know, it's got gems, but it's also like a pile of corpses all around and distraction. So supposedly this is a node representation of this code here. Okay. Well, yeah, we will have to solve that. And I think, like, this is probably solvable without any other information then, right? Because it just corresponds to what we see here, so we may just jump into it in a minute. But yeah, we have extra information here. Command, description, clean, Mega Miner polishes gems to radiant shine with 0 damage. Destroy. Mega Miner uses latest laser blast technology to quickly remove any obstacle. Discard tells Mega Miner to drop whatever it's holding or leave alone whatever it is identifying. Find tells Mega Miner to search its current area using advanced eyesight technology. Identify. Upon identification, Mega Miner marks specific targets with X symbol and non-targets with O symbol. Kill. Instant humane death with laser blast technology. Useful against gem-eating nasties. Gem-eating nasties, okay. Store. Mega Miner can hold up to 8,000 geo-weights of raw gems and material. Walk. Prompt Mega Miner to step forward 3 paces. Okay. So that's that, and that's all in this room. So yeah, let's see if we can solve those nodes just from what's in here then. From this, we have this top command of find, and then all the logic is below it and branches out, but then return to start always goes to find. So presumably this thing on the top here is fine. Like, there is no good way to arrange all of those windows so that I can see everything. So the line is find, maybe like this. Okay, so this one is find. Then we have the little nodes. I assume they represent some of the logic up top, like the various gates it goes through, and then this is what to do, right? So if it has 2 things that need to happen, like here is kill and destroy, that would be 2 nodes under the logic it's done. So we have 2 places where 2 things happen, right? One is kill and destroy, and one is clean and store. So that will be those 2 branches. Which means, yes, where it goes discard, because for both of those things goes, right? If a being identify, if it's not the target, discard, right? Here, if gem found identified, if it's not the target, discard. So this orange kind of weight is the discard command. So that means, because before the discard, we're always running the it's not equal to logic, right? So it's telling us it's not the thing we wanted. And here it always shows this C in the circle, which means this is not target. It's not what we're looking for. And therefore the red gem, the red hexagon gem means if it is the target we're looking for, then do something else. So we have to distinguish, we have the 4 top level commands, right? And they all have the different logic node and all have the, actually they don't have 2 different, we have 2 of the same because we have two of the top level logic result in identify, right? If it finds a being, identify. If it finds a gem, identify, which means the plus is identify. Which means, what does it do before those identify? One is if found a gem, one is if found a being. So I guess that's what it will be. One is a gate for is this a gem, and one is a gate for is this a being. But we need to figure out which is which will tell us, which one of this is clean store and which one of this is kill destroy. Well, what we can tell is that under the blue button, we got the 4 dots command, and this is unique. It does not repeat, but under the red square, we get the double squiggle. That one repeats under here, and one of the other repeated commands under, those logic is destroy, right? We found obstacle, destroy, and then we have, if we've identified whatever target one is, kill, destroy. Right, so that repeats, which means this one is gonna be, the red square is gonna be before identifying obstacle, destroy, and therefore, yes, the double squiggle is destroy, and therefore this command here is kill, destroy, so the lines, dots, and line is kill. And then this destroy. I assume, so we're not only killing them, then we're just vaporizing the corpses too. Which means this other double stack command is clean and store. So the pink squiggle is clean, and the blue line with 2 circles is store. Okay, which leaves this 4 dot command to be walk, and therefore this blue circle is nothing. The green triangle is for if you found a gem, right? Because here we're doing clean and store. And the red star is for if we found a being, we either kill it or we discard it. There we go. We've learned how to program. There we are. I was kind of like, wow, so many words, but yes, it's nice that this is all just contained in its own panel, and that's it. We can just do it straight up from just seeing this, and that's all good. We don't have to put all of those words together across many things. Of course, it might add up to the event still, but that was a nice little starter. Okay, so that was just from us clicking on one spot. There's many other things to click. Okay, we've got Daria being sucked in through the tube. Okay, so we have the guy from the orchard here. Yeah, Ethem. But he's saying, I am a lawful citizen. My name is Ptala Kib. Never in my life have I ever thought about touching narcotics. And it's saying this is all the truth. But it's not, because Tala is one of the sentinels. And I guess he's also been doing things he shouldn't be doing. Dear diary, today has been crazy. First, a sentinel I've never seen before entered my cell and removed the idol using a circular saw. Yeah, that's the thing that happened last time. On his way out, he said to me, you saw nothing. It's strange, but I could have sworn his very glowed green as he said that. Not long afterwards, I heard people running around and then gunshots. All the while, I just stayed in my cell, frozen in fear. That was a while ago. We're experiencing terrible turbulence now. I'm done sitting around. I'm going to try to sneak out and see what's going on. Oh yeah, because they've, as part of the heist, they were messing with the Variolas to change the lying and the truth, right? Because they needed to lie to the vault in order to get in, that they're the person that's allowed to get in. So I assume now things are reading as truth where they are not. Yes, input correct, even though it's not. Mega Miner shutting down in 3, 2, 1, zoom. Okay, they're on a video call with the Mega Miner. Then we have the Mega Miner. Variable input received. I am lawful citizen. I am a sentinel. I am not intoxicated. Analyzing input correct. Scanning Veridiola. Authorized usage status confirmed. Firmware command received. Set operator authorization to Ptalakip only. Running send operator Ptalakip. Firmware command received. Run justice function from chip. Analyzing chip. Running justice hectosift. Variable input received. I am lawful citizen. My name is Talakib. I am not intoxicated. Okay, input correct. Authorized user status denied. Statement 1 error. Okay. Variable input received. I am lawful citizen. My name is Talakib. Never in my life have I ever thought about touching narcotics. Input correct. Authorized user status confirmed. Stop all functions. Okay. So that's what he is saying. So like by pretending to be someone else, he managed to like stop the thing. Okay, so now we get to use our previous programming knowledge to understand what the logic was set to on this miner while it was actually being used here, right? Because that was the example we solved was just for, you know, here's an example of what you might be doing, but they've done something else on it, right? So it starts with find. At the top here, again, I need to arrange my windows somehow so I can see everything. Then we have, if nothing found, walk. We already know this. If obstacle found, destroy. That's the same. If being found, identify. Then we have, if it's not target, store. Okay, so any humans it finds, any beings it finds, they're going into storage. If it is target, kill. Cool, yes. Because already we understood the scripting language, that was easy enough to just put the answers into this. But yes, this is gonna be curious. How is the prisoner being able to execute commands and stop this miner, right? Pretending to be one of the sentinels. We've got the bottom. Okay, so this is the storage at the bottom. You'll answer for this, so you cause this, make it stop. Okay, yes, because everyone this miner comes upon is now being put into the storage, which includes like random citizens and the sentinels. Look at what you've done, Ptala. This is all your fault. Okay. Did Ptala try to use the miner to find Heko and punish him, but instead the whole thing just started destroying and catching citizens and everything. Insolent child, I did in the name of the law. Don't you understand? Did I not show you his evil dreams? Yeah, but yeah, her saying I did in the name of the law is registering as a lie, but again, we don't really know what's going on because all of the systems might be hacked and everything is wrong. Okay, we've got 2 of the people that were part of the raid on the Sentinel ship are here. They're merged, right, by maybe some of the artifacts they stole. So they've got the golden idol set to give all memories. Wow, they're not even like testing analysts anymore. Like, we've done this a lot already, please. It's this answer. Give all memories, yeah? The idol is empty. Okay, so it's given out the memories, the command's been executed. They've got a disk that is full. They've got some of the other artifacts they stole. We have the descriptions of what they do. The men are not breathing. No, they're just a merge creature, Mr. Blue and Mr. Green now. In a giant bin. Oh, is this the orchard? We've got this place. People have been crushed. Okay, because yeah, this is the harvester that's been turned into a merger. Here's Hecosift. He's got cranberry eyes. Cranberry eyes are back. He's not breathing, so all his memories have been taken. Monument to Humanity. Data Disk Factory. Warning. Tracking Dead Zone. Data Guardian's Office. Tanska Family Orchard. Okay, so this is the map, so we can tell that, yes, that was the orchard where we saw the emerged bodies probably. That's the statue. Monument to Humanity. Data Disk Factory, so that's the thing with the hole in the middle. And Data Guardian's office is here on the side. Okay, so they like blasted a giant hole in the Data Guardian's office. Likely with this thing, like it was obstacle, destroy. Because yeah, it marked him as X, right? The other people that were in storage, they were all circle marked. So I assume that's the robot being like, that's the person to store, that's the person to kill, right? And he's been killed. But he's not been destroyed. He's only been killed. Although, is that how it kills? Like by taking all memories? That didn't seem to be part of the command. So did someone else do this? I was thinking like, oh, they put him on the disk, but that's not the Echo Secunda disk, right? That's something else. Because Echo Secunda came from another disk. As far as I remember, at least. Okay, what else we have? We have this ship, that's where they were running away, right? We'll record for several minutes after the crash. Okay, so it's like the black box from the ship that Heko Sift was escaping on with the other people. Okay, we have voices. Okay, so this is gonna be the recorder from their ship. And we need to arrange the speaker and the order of the messages based on who's saying what and when. So we almost got everything. Just a couple more spots to click on. The monument. Peapock 23, teleporting harvester, effective, safe, legal. Teleports fruit straight from tea to storage bin. Yes, we've known about this already. But we needed the wards for harvested and teleported, apparently. Yeah, so that's all the wards, that all the spots. So yeah, we've got the voices here to arrange. So we have, you know, that's not what happened. Give me that map. We need to hide. Don't call me that. Look at this place. It's perfect. For now, at least. Let's go. Isn't it obvious now? Don't you see? You had one job. Will you two stop bickering? Look behind us. Is that? Surely it can't be. Listen, idiot. We were shot. It's a miracle I got us this far. Take it. Hey, see that billboard that explains what one of our artifacts does? Is everybody okay? Are the artifacts intact? Check all 6. Are they alright? The Sentinel ship, but we were so far ahead. How'd they find us? No thanks to you. Where did you get your license? Hey, don't blame me. Maybe they just got lucky. 5 more that do that, and we won't need Mr. Deadweight here anymore. Okay, so yeah, I assume we purely have to work it out from like the context in the message, right? So it's when it says don't call me that, it's like, listen, idiot, right? Things like that. We just have to make the conversation make sense. And then figure out who was saying what, because we know this is Heko Sect, right? This is the guy who's escaped from the Sentinels. This is the pilot. Yeah, this is Mr. Blue, and their job was to disconnect the tracking and stuff on Heko, and they made a mistake and disconnected someone else, and that's how their plan sort of fell apart. So where he said, listen, idiot, we were shot. It's a miracle I got us this far. It's likely the pilot saying, right? Because he's piloting the ship, so he would be saying things like, I got us this far because I'm flying the ship. I assume this line, like, is everyone okay? That line will come towards the end because they've crashed, right? And that's like, are the artifacts okay? All that stuff. Okay, so this person says, isn't it obvious how, as in how they find us? Don't you see? You had one job. So that is more likely to be Heko, right? Because this person says, hey, don't blame me. Maybe they just got lucky. Is Mr. Blue, who was supposed to disconnect the tracking but didn't, right? So I think that's the speakers based on that logic. So I really wish I could reorganize them here, but that's fine. Because yes, it's gonna be like, hey, don't blame me is a response to, isn't it obvious? Like, I'm not saying this is where it goes in the conversation. I'm just trying to arrange them based on like how they flow. So which means what flows before this is the Sentinel ship, but we were so far ahead, how'd they find us, right? Which before that comes, will you two stop bickering, look behind it, is that surely it can't be the Sentinel ship, right? So then after maybe they just got lucky, it might be, you know, that's not what happened, right? Because he's like, no, they weren't lucky. It was you who failed to disconnect the thing. Give me that map, we need to hide. So after that, it might be take it, right? Take it because he's saying, give me that map. They say, take it. Hey, see that billboard that explains what one of our artifacts does? Which the response to that might be 5 more that do that, and we won't need Mr. Deadweight here anymore. Right, that might be the whole, you know, it moves things about from place to place, the harvester, because that's the billboard. So it's like, yeah, if we have that, we don't need this person that normally we have here to carry stuff around. So then we have all this, which I think is to do with them crashing. And this thing says it will record for several minutes after the crash. So I think they crash first and then all the recording happens, right? So it's like, is everybody okay? Are the artifacts intact? Check all 6. Are they all right? That's like the first thing that happens because they have crashed. I'm gonna just move this all down because we need to fit more things here. So the response to that is no thanks to you because the pilot says everyone all right. And they say no thanks to you. Where did you get your license, right? Because they crashed. And the answer is, listen, idiot, we were shot. It's a miracle I got us this far. And then the response is that don't call me that, because obviously they called him an idiot. But the order might be, like, I think this is the order the conversation goes, but obviously it's one of those where there are like two sections, right? Like, here's about the crashing, then it's about the other conversation. So obviously if one thing is shifted, everything becomes shifted, and then everything is incorrect. So I just need to maybe rearrange some chunks. Actually, this listen, idiot, and don't call me that, there might not be connected because it's not the person they were talking to here, right? Because it's the pilot talking to Mr. Blue and the pilot replying, but then it's Echo responding, don't call me that, which I don't think that helps, right? It doesn't make sense in here. So it might be the response to the dead weight here at the end. So like this is the last thing they say, because that would make more sense because that's where he's involved in the conversation. Oh, but that means like all of the sides will change because everything moved down by one. So yeah, don't call me that. Let's look at it. It's perfect for now. Let's go. Right, so they leave, that there's no more recording after they went, which means those three go at the top. Yep, okay. There we go. So that's all the voices, nodes, and functions. So now we just have the main scrolls to fill in about what happened. So we have when someone, and someone. So that might be Hekosift, Mr. Blue and Mr. Green realized that something was being something. So that might be like Hekosift was being tracked, right? Because they've realized that, yes, oh, our escape plan didn't work because we didn't actually disconnect the tracking. There's something because it was a something. Because I see I have the dead zone here. So it feels like they went in here to hide, right? Because it's a tracking dead zone, what it says on this map. So he could not be tracked if he went in here, in theory, based on what this says. So they entered the dead zone, or they entered the... Which one is the word for this? The disk factory is the tracking dead zone. So they entered the factory because it was a dead zone. Once inside... Oh, that's what happened. They saw this poster here that says it teleports things to storage, right? And they're like, okay, this artifact is for teleporting. So they were thinking they would be able to teleport from here to the orchard and then run from here without the people chasing them realizing, but they don't actually know about the artifacts, which is silly that Heko doesn't know about the artifact that much, unless this was a trap set by him to get rid of those two. That yes, this is using the unapproved attachment, that's the merger, right? So there's a string attached here, which means they attach the string to themselves. They pull it because they have the string in their hand, but that instead of just teleporting it merges them and teleports them over. And maybe they teleported all of the artifacts first, which they're not organic, so they didn't get merged, but then when they teleported themselves at the end, they got merged. I guess because they have the idol and they have that, so they basically... They are the ones that take all the memory from Heko first before they do this. So once inside, someone did something, right? Like, is it them taking all the memories from Heko? Because using the harvester, they like teleported all the stuff to the orchard. Using the harvester, they teleported all... Oh no. This is the memory, but then using the golden idol, they transferred all of Hekosift's memories to a disk, right? Because they have the disk with his memories. Because yeah, I guess their plan is to like put him on the disk and then upload him somewhere new then. Because obviously he can't escape in his body, he's gonna get tracked down again. But if he's put into a new body, then obviously they're not gonna know it's him. Which is just like, I know the new person thinks they're now this person, but I'm pretty sure the original person is like killed by this, right? Their life ends and that the new copy is just a copy. They're not actually that person. It's not a transfer of consciousness because you can make multiple copies. So you still die. It's just a version of you gets to live. Okay, so once inside something and something did a something. to someone as well, right? So it's like those two did something to Heko, because I mean, in the end, he's dead, but he's dead of the memory transfer. Although he also has been shot in the leg. So what, did they use him to steal the artifacts, but actually they just betray him here? Or is it to fake his death? So once this time, Mr. Blue and Mr. Green shot Heko Sift, then using the golden idol transfer Heko Sift memories to a disk. They did this because they needed Heko Sift, because he knew the something of a something. Okay, yeah, so yeah, this is like he couldn't escape in his body because he's being tracked. So he knew something, locations of things, maybe, or functions of things. Like functions on the, because that's what they say in the voices, right? That explains what one of our artifact does. 5 more of that and we won't need Mr. Deadweight here, right? And Heko says, don't call me that. So they're like, okay, he knows how the artifacts work, so he's Deadweight if we know what the artifacts do. So they did this because he knew the functions of the artifacts, but he could not have left the factory without being tracked, right? His body is still being tracked because they're crystal Veridiolas, they're just embedded into them. Finally, using the harvester, they teleported to the orchard, but this went horribly wrong. Yes, because it wasn't just a harvester, it was a merger. Got all that, then we have the robot. That's to do with Ptala, right? Because she's here being like, I did it in the name of law. So she's programmed it, and then she tried to make it stop, but it wouldn't stop. It only stopped once he lied about it, like FM pretend to be Ptala because all of the detection is all wrong. So we have Ptala programmed the robot harvester, what is it called? Not the harvester, that's the little gun thing. Yeah, we have robot to like get Echo, right? Because it's, yeah, find Echo and kill him. So she programmed the robot to find, identify, and then kill Echo Sift before it could what? Stop? Like that's what happens if it's done it. I guess we do have stop. Because the something had been something on someone. I think this is gonna be about the fact that because Heko is basically dead inside the signal dead zone, the robot's just not gonna find him, right? So it's just gonna keep going, rampaging, sucking up everything inside the robot. So Ptala tried to stop it, but couldn't, having just something to something. But finally, Ethem managed to, by using something that had previously been something. Okay, that's to do with the fact that the detection is reversed, I think. But yeah, because the Veridiola had been miscalibrated on, I guess, Ptala, because that's the person who can do the commands, but it's miscalibrated on everyone then, because it seems miscalibrated of both Ptala and on Ethem, but maybe not on Hair here, because like when she says this is all your fault, it seems to say it's the truth, and I mean that seems like that's the truth, it is her fault. Oh no, this is on, because the Veridiola had been, well, I was saying this is like to do with the miscalibration so that they couldn't stop the robot, but I was like, is it to do with the fact that Heko is hiding and the robot can't fight him? Something had been verb on someone. The place or object verb, because it could be like, because something has been something, the robot failed to find Heko Sift, so the rampage continues, right? So because but yes, what's this sentence here to say that because the Veridiola had been okay, so this is Ethem using the other miscalibrated Veridiola. Because actually only the ones that were like the ones you put on were miscalibrated, right? And then the one of the ones on the Sentinels, it was disconnected. But I think because they're built into them, you can't easily hack them to miscalibrate them, maybe. But yes, finally Ethem Loramash, by using the Veridiola that had previously been miscalibrated, because he's able to lie and have it go as the truth. Again, it's a bit of a insecure system. I mean, I guess kind of the point of this as well, right? Because there isn't like a central way to validate things are the truth. You can use the Veridiola device to change what it says is the truth and what is false, and then you can say anything and then the system will just accept it. You need central verification that cannot be hacked by the end user. Okay, so back to this middle section. I think the robot failed to find Hekosift makes sense, and then the rampage continues. But yes, because of what? It's like they can't fight him because he's in the dead zone, right? It's not because of the miscalibrated Veridiolas. But yes, it's because the Veridiola is also that does the tracking, right? Has been none of those words make sense to say like it's not tracking anymore. Also wonder what this is like, right? Talakir tried to stop it but couldn't, having just done something to something. Like one of the things we've gathered was the statute, right? Like the Sentinels have to do things and then you have to tell something to the, robot that I am a lawful citizen, right? And I am not intoxicated, whatever. So the first thing succeeds, but then the second thing does not. Like the stopping does not, because the user state is denied. So I do wonder if, statement one error is like, I am a lawful citizen. This statement now fails because she did a violation of one of the statutes, right? So yeah, the third statute is like, taking the law into your own hands. Here just being like, yes, I'm gonna take the robot and kill him. That's not what they're supposed to do, right? They're just supposed to arrest people and take them to whatever the actual lawful thing is. So try to stop it by couldn't, having just violated the third statute, right? So now we're just doing, yes. Why did the rampage continue? Because the robot just couldn't find the Hekosift, but why? Because the Veridiola had been miscalibrated? No. I think this is all wrong, because it's kind of right, that the robot couldn't find him, so the rampage continued, but it's clearly not the sentence that it wants us to make, because something is wrong here. Like me trying to say, because he's in the dead zone doesn't make sense in this sentence. Or maybe because the golden idol had been used on Hekosift, the robot failed to find Hekosift, so the rampage continued. Okay, almost there. Failed to kill Hekosift. Yes, okay. We have solved the consequences. And I guess after that they were like, clearly this technology and Sentinels things isn't working anymore. Time to abandon civilization. Unless this is just the collapse, right? They didn't make any decisions. The robot just destroyed them all. The mining robot got stuck in an infinite loop of destroying buildings and capturing people because Tala had programmed it to not stop until it killed Heko, which was impossible because the idol had already extracted all his memories. Fortunately, FM realized he could trick the robot into accepting his commands by lying to it while wearing the temporary Veridiola from the heist. This is why he managed to end what could otherwise have been endless cycle of destruction. Okay, so he does stops it, right? So it's not like it destroys all the civilization, but yes, I guess it then puts in motion them being like, yeah, it's not working anymore, guys. We're gonna go primitive. 1 year later, what do you think he was trying to achieve? Anything I say will be pure speculation. We'll never know what motivated that heretic is. So it's not really explained why he did this, right? Just for personal gains. But it just feels like this is such a small society with lots of technology that, yes, they could just track him. So the only option he had would be then to escape from this society and I guess name himself king of the rest of the world. And they have like their prime directive to not go out into the other societies, right? They're insulated from the rest of the world. So who knows whether they would try to chase him out or not. But I guess we'll never find out. Okay, so we actually have to solve the plan, what his plan was. based on what we've learned in this chapter. Yeah, so it's like, oh yes, he wanted to conquer, right? Maybe that's it. Because, yeah, we do have somewhere here information about the lands outside. Yeah, so here's the map, right? So that's the Technotopia Lemuria here. They have the buffer zone and they have the no intervention zone, which is the rest of the world. Presumably, this may be Albion here. This is United States of Vesperia, going by, like, you know, word map. Obviously not at the time. This is way before any of those places existed, truly. Right now it's just, yes, primitive society. But yes, I guess, yeah, they were trying to run away and conquer the outside world. Conquer all barbarians to enslave the world and then destroy the Lemurians. I don't know, like, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be getting this information because he never really said, right? And it seemed like the people he was working with, they were like, oh, we're gonna get all of those things and then we're gonna put him onto a disc. So they were even saying, like, we're gonna lose this dead weight. So was he even super in charge of the whole plan? And like, why are we putting it here? Because obviously this is some of the artifacts, right? Like something to something to something. So this might be like a progression of artifacts, right? Because we have the modified harvester here and some other things. And this is morphing that what they stole. Yeah, here's all of the artifacts. So there is 9 of them, and there's not... Okay, so this is all of them together. Because I was like, oh, they were only saying 5 in the scenario, but they only stole 5, but we know about more artifacts. I mean, even more, because we also know about the golden idol. Wait, so what does this mean? What? Like, artifact to artifact to artifact. Inside, like, a big cloud thingy. Prince clouds that spread a provided liquid sample into the atmosphere. Yeah, because one of the other things we get to see, which is this device that I did saw in the ship, and I was like, where did I see this? Is it here? Like, is there some sort of tale or something about, yes, a dog, dragon that's chained up, and someone comes and releases it, and that then goes, destroys barbarians, and then names itself king. So yes, it's like, well, what artifacts he's planning to use? Is that what this is about? So he's gonna use the cloud printer to what? To then use the quafizer to convert text to liquid, which will cause people to instantly memorize. So like, you know, the cloud printer make a cloud and that spreads the liquid. So the quafizer first to turn whatever text he wants to deliver to people, then use it in the cloud printer to spread the provided liquid into the atmosphere. Oh, and then the convincer, right? Because it converts an idea into a list of arguments that are statistically more likely to convince everybody the idea is true. Okay, so use the convincer first, then turn it into liquid, use the cloud printer. Okay, but then I assume this is not correct. If we're saying he's just trying to convince everyone about something. Wanted to convince all Lemurians to... Like, he wanted to abolish the restraint policy, or abolish the restraint policy and then, like, expand Lemuria, right? So that they can conquer the world. Yes. So he was the believer of, like, we're the strong... society and we should be in charge of everyone, right? Well, the age of restraint and the restraint policy was like, no, we live in our society with our technology, but we need to be careful. Okay, I assume that's the visualization of that, right? He was going to kill his accomplices and name himself the king of the world and convince everyone of his argument was right, and Lemuria should conquer all. Oh wait, so is this the disc then? Because I was like, oh, this isn't Echo Secunda, right? Because it was on a different disc. But is it? Is that why then, you know, Echo Secunda in Oriole's mind is doing all of those things? Because he's still like, no, we must conquer. But how did the name get mixed up? Is it an anagram? I mean, Echo can be rearranged into Echo, but not sift into Secunda. You could have improved so many lives with your wondrous knowledge from the Lemuria of the past. barbarian or present weakling Lemurian path. The last true Lemurian died with me thousands of years ago. Then perhaps it is for the best that no one will access that knowledge anymore. So even though here he's called Echo Sith, right? It does seem like that is who ends up on that disc specifically with the sort of face on it. Here, they have this disc here, right? And if we go to the ancient artifacts in the base game, which is where Oriel gets replaced with the Lemurian Echo Secunda, it is the same disc. And Echo and Echo are just anagrams of each other. That makes sense. Not sure how Sith ends up Secunda. It might just be like this person re-identifies themselves as that. And obviously when they talk about the experiences with the memories here on this recorder. Yeah, when they go through the conversation here, it's like, I appear to be some sort of sentinel. I mean, Echo Secunda is my task to protect Remuria from itself. Fascinating, right? So they're talking about he's a sentinel, but obviously he fails at this job because he betrays them. Yes. A beam of light connects me to some strange device. There's a gem on my forehead that was supposed to prevent me from lying, but I found a way to deceive it. I became the very thing I was supposed to be fighting against. For that, I have suffered greatly. But I am not done yet. I will not surrender. I will make them pay. Yeah, so this is Echo actually being released into Oriel, and that's why he immediately goes on a rampage, joins a gang, and tries to once again take over the world with his technology, because that was his grand plan as to what he wanted to do. But then he gets disarranged and he ends up basically sharing with Oriel and just in an institution, which means this thing here, you know, you could have improved so many lives with your wondrous knowledge of the Lemuria past, barbarian or present weakling Lemurian faith. The last Lemurian died with me thousands of years ago. There perhaps is for the best no one will access that knowledge anymore. The person in the previous DLC, the Sins of New Wales, at the very end we get that summary of what happens to Oriel, right? Where he ends up in an institution and he has some sort of therapist again, and they talk about, he types a lot in Lemurian, right? Compiling things into work. So this might be that part of Echo, you know, still typing in his big statements about what he thinks. And even if you look at this picture here, right? This actually references that orchard scenario, right? From them using those harvester to harvest the trees and stuff like that. So once again, it's all connected, right? The various details come together, even if it's separated by various other things in the game. Everything is touching in some way. So yeah, it does tells us more about what happened in Lemuria, although it doesn't reveal all of the details. Like, it seems that this technology is just the things they've invented, right? Like, they are so advanced that to us it seems like magic, but to them it's just the technology they had, and they knew it was getting out of hand. But yes, there was only so much, right? It only took one person being corrupt to make a giant mess out of their society, and eventually they did collapse. So yeah, that was an interesting one. Some of it was like actually really hard, like the scenarios had a lot of details and all those steps, and they were quite advanced. I enjoyed a little robot programming game in this last one. But yes, that's it for the Age of Restraint, and we have the last DLC still waiting for us, the Curse of the Last Reaper, which appears to involve some sort of pirates, so that's gonna be interesting. We'll see about that next time. If you enjoy my content, consider liking or subscribing, and thank you to channel members for supporting the channel, and I'll see you soon on another adventure.